Good evening. I'm going to be asking some questions from a gentleman who was part of Bridge Park when they first started in the 80s. And if you could just introduce yourself, can you tell me what your name is and how you became involved in Bridge Park?
My name is Delaney Brown, and I became involved with HPCC, Harlesden Community Council, in Stonebridge in 1981. I was living in Luton, running a record shop with my brothers, but I knew and grew up with some young men from the Harlesden Stonebridge area, and I heard that a young man who just came out of prison called Delaney Johnson set up a community centre, or got a community centre in Stonebridge. And I heard he was having meetings regarding what could be done for the community, because we grew up with an experience of criminal activities. And I went to Luton to change my life with my brothers, and I heard that I was doing something in our area that we grew up in, and I went to one of the meetings, and at that meeting I was convinced, because I did not believe that Leonard was genuine. I believed that I heard he was going to get government grants, government money, and I thought this was a scam he was on. But when I heard him speak, I realized now this was a different person from the one I grew up with. And so I decided to join the HPCC. And my first activities at the time was to buy and sell t-shirts, hats, with a gentleman called Lawrence Fearon, one of our friends, Lawrence Fearon, selling hats. And one of my first main jobs after doing that was to do PRO, public relations, getting the community to know who we were, what we were trying to do. And then Leonard got, he had the annex, it's called the annex, and he began to get the older folks involved, the younger guys involved and girls, and began to, it was an old captured dustbin place where the council used to hold their dustbins, and so we began to organize workshops, build different classrooms, and start to have Sunday school, Bible studies, drama, doing electronic classes, and it really took off. And just before that was the riot. Stonebridge nearly rioted, but Leonard and a few others said, what's the point in rioting? Let's go to Surrey and go and riot. And so that was the beginning of HPCC, Harlesden People's Community Council. And that's the early days of what we were doing. And a young man called Arthur Thompson, a youth worker, realized what we were doing, Scottish man, said, why there's a disused bus garage going for sale? Why don't you have a look? And we went down, had a look, and then the vision of Bridge Park started to materialize that could host our vision, what we were having, and bigger. So then I got involved in Bridge Park in that way, as a business development worker.
Okay, so specifically what I was going to ask you was, what was your role in Bridge Park, and were you ever involved in using the facilities?
I was a director of Bridge Park, and my specific role was to be a business development coordinator, to help people start their own business, building business plans, marketing, research, and giving some guidance and guidelines. I had to go to college to do that. Okay. So I have some certificates in business studies at that time.
Fantastic. So what do you think Bridge Park represented to the community, and in particular I'm talking about the black community?
In my mind, I personally was quite clear that we were campaigning to buy the district bus garage, which wasn't Bridge Park time, it was a bus garage, because we wanted to own the bus garage. Ownership. And the black community came on board because it was something for the black community to own, because everybody else around us owned their thing, but the black community owned prostitution, robberies, knife and gun crime, squalid situation, deprivation with the young men coming up, young women. That's what we owned. And we were fed up and sick and tired of being labelled and stereotyped, because we had much, much more to offer.